Welcome back to Meteors Munich, my friends. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. And this episode is a really special one because I gave you a little bit of an overview on the FIM, so kind of from the student perspective. I made a whole video on this, and then I also have the guide so that you can have it at really a first glance. But then what I thought was that it was really missing is kind of a perspective from the program management, right? I mean, they are at the end of the day making all the decision in terms of application and kind of where this program goes. So I'm extremely happy that today I'm going to talk to Charlotte Bayer for you guys. So she is the program director of the Finance and Information Management Master Program, and we're really going to go through everything in terms of the vision of the program, what are they looking for in candidates, what are her top application secrets, which you may not know. So stay for the entire video if you really want to get a more of a comprehensive insight into what the FIM is all about. Without further ado, let's get straight into the episode. So Charlotte is super happy to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So maybe let's start a little bit about you, maybe for somebody who may not know you. What is your role at FIM? And yeah, just kind of to kick things off.
Yeah, sure. My name is Charlotte Bayer, and I'm the program manager of the Master in Finance and Information Management, or FIM as we call it in short. And I'm responsible for, on the one hand, student consultancy. So if students or applicants have any questions about the program or study process, they can always reach out to me. And on the other hand, I am responsible for developing the program, but also I'm the contact person for different stakeholders like professors, corporate partners, or FIM alumni, for example.
Awesome. So you touched on so many points already on the corporate partners in the program, and we will get into all of this today. So thank you so much for taking the time. So you said that you're also about the kind of program development. So tell us a little bit more about the concept of the FIM. So how did it come about and what really makes it so special?
Yeah, so then I would start directly at the start of the FIM. So it started in 2004 at the University of Augsburg in cooperation with the Technical University of Munich and the University of Bayreuth. And they are setting up the program with the goal to educate great talents that are interested in developing the digital world in the context of finance. And after or since 3 years now, the study program started at the TUM together with the University of Bayreuth, and of course a lot of stakeholders who are already involved into the old setting of the program. We restarted the program, the FIM program, and formally it is a new program with a new in a new setting, but of course we try to keep the character of the program because it was already so successful, so there was no need to change a lot in the program. So what makes this program special? I think there are a lot of parts what makes it special. On the one hand, I think it's a great combination of modules and contents that we have in the FIM. So we have the business side, the financial management side, but of course, information systems, operations, research, and machine learning, and of course, quantitative finance. And also, so as a nice add-on for students, we have a certificate of honors where students can participate in soft skill classes, in a lot of FIM exclusive events with our corporate partners. The corporate partners also have mentors for our students. So the students are really good supervised from not only from academia, but also from the corporate partner side. We have social projects within this certificate of honors, and also research projects that students can do.
Wow.
Yeah. But what I think makes the program really special is the character, the atmosphere within the program. So I mentioned already a lot of stakeholders like corporate partners, professors, students, of course, and FIM alumni. And with this combination, we have a really different team spirit within this program, and I think this makes it really, really special.
Awesome. Thanks so much for already providing so many insights. I think that is really something very, very unique, what everything you touched upon. I think something which might also be interesting to our listeners is kind of, you said that it's a program which has been going on very successfully so far, but that the kind of was again established or newly established, let's say, at the TUM. So what is kind of the vision of the FIM? So where do you want this study program to evolve to ultimately?
Yeah, so when the program came to the Technical University of Munich, together with University of Bayreuth, we started offering classes only in English. So the whole program is offered in English now. So before it was only offered in German, and this is why the program is really well known in Germany, but not in other countries. So this is one goal we have, to be known as the best option for the combination of information system, financial management, quant finance, and so on in the world, and to attract talents from all over the world. This is one vision we would like to strive for in the future.
Awesome. I can definitely attest to that. I feel like our classes was also very international already, like even though it was very at the beginning, let's say. And I think that's very interesting because you then have people from so many different backgrounds coming together. And that's just a richness which you don't get as easily, definitely.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about the students. So what would you say, what kind of person would normally succeed? Like what, if you were, I mean, I know it's very individual basis, obviously, so it's not like you need to have these characteristics, but is there something that comes to mind to you?
Yeah, so of course, besides the academic background, it should be on a really high standard. Students or applicants should bring different characteristics with them. So for example, they should be passionate about developing digital technologies or digitalization in general. They should be open-minded, but also open to help each other in the class, because we have the small class sizes, and it's really important that students helping out each other are open for everything that comes to their minds, and of course, willing to do the extra mile, because it is a tough program, it is time consuming, and students should be willing to do that.
Yeah, 100%. I think that is also, as I talk about also other student initiatives, it's also, I feel like with the FIM similar in the sense that the more you give the program, or the more you immerse yourself in all these offerings, like you talked about all the things you can do, the more you can also get out. And just from that perspective, to have the time to really engage yourself is something which I feel would be definitely sensible.
Yeah.
So at the beginning you said also honor certificate, which I don't know how many people know that. And so maybe you can walk us a little bit through, like, what is it, what is the structure, and why even do an honor certificate?
Yeah, so besides the Master of Science students get after graduation, we offer a certificate of honors, and it works from the first semester until the end of the study. So it is something that just is in parallel to normal studies, and we make it because we would like to educate our students in a holistic way. Of course, they get a lot of skills and knowledge from their modules and classes that they take, but it's also important that they have different other soft skills. For example, we have the soft skill classes where with the communication training, because it is important that students are able to present even in front of a bigger crowd, or can solve conflicts in an efficient manner, or be just self-reflecting human beings, I would say. So this is why we have the soft skill classes. They are mostly in the first and second semester. And one other aspect of the honor certificate is are the FIM events that we are offering. It could be visits to our corporate partners or workshops with them, but also fireside evenings on specific topics, for example. And then there's also a research project that where our students have the opportunity to conduct their own research. And this is really important for us because then they have a feeling of what it means to do research and what it means to transfer research into practice. So they have their first touch points with that. This is why students or a lot of students do their PhD after the master's degree. And they can do it in Germany with a share or at a university abroad. And this is really individual when it comes to timing. So it can be after the second semester, but also after the third semester. It always depends on the topic, the shares you would like to do your research with. So as I said, really individual. And then we have, because those are a lot of benefits that our students get. And we really want them to give something back to society. And this is why we have also social projects that are part of the Certificate of Honor.
Awesome. So many things already there. And I talk a little bit about this in my video as well, but also like with the research, I feel like I always say like people have imposter syndrome. I didn't have it as much in professional, but more like in the scientific. I was like, oh God, research sounds like daunting. But I think it's an incredible opportunity to go and work on these topics on something you wouldn't do before. So definitely so many things. So we talked about the soft skill courses, as you said, like they're all about communication, conflict. I really liked ones where it was about introspection, about the team, and so a lot of them as well. So social projects, like what do you have any examples? Like what could that look like in terms of like what is expected from students?
Mm-hmm. So the first important thing is that students are socially engaged in an area that they are interested in. So we don't want someone doing, I don't know, environmental work when someone is not really into it. So students can choose what to do with their time and how to engage. And there we have, for example, a group of people who are organizing charity runs and collecting funds for different organizations. But we also have a team who is supporting a group of kids from Ukraine. This is a really nice project because they're just spending time with them, helping them out whenever there's an issue, could be in class or in school, but also when they would like to get to know Munich, for example. So this is a really nice project. And also there is one group who are doing financial education for pupils. Of course, at the one hand, helping them managing their money, but also explaining them stock markets, what it is, or how they can invest money when they are not pupils anymore, but earn them their own money.
Yeah, that's I feel like also such a relevant. Every one of these has like their own relevance. Like I mean, talking with children from Ukraine, but then also financial literacy. There are like you said, like so many different aspects how you can go into this. So you said also like about the research phase that it can be done either in Germany but also abroad. So generally speaking, what are kind of the ways that FIM students can go abroad, would you say?
So I think the normal way or the path that is really meant to be for FIM students is to go abroad within this research project. So together with the academic mentor or the supervisor of the research project, the students are thinking about topics they would like to do research in, and then they are looking for a share at international universities with which they can do the research, and then they're going abroad there. It could be from 3 to 6 months, I would say. So this is the normal way, and it's really individual because, of course, it depends on the topic. So we don't have a list of cooperations with other universities where you can go. But yeah, it's it depends on the topic, and then the professors are offering their networks, and then you can go there. Of course, you could also do the regular studying abroad. It is possible, but the transformation of credits is kind of difficult. So you should plan in advance and inform yourself if it's possible or not. But we also have students who go abroad and don't take the credits from there for the FIM master.
Yeah. So I think I feel like the research part is very unique to FIM, because I think you can always go abroad even in your bachelor's, but you don't have to necessarily do it here. But I think that the fact that you said that professors actually offer their own networks, and that is possible because you get to know them so well over the time. I mean, I know some people who are now in Canada or are going to go to Australia, so it's very widespread. And as you said, I think that's a sign of trust almost, that you send somebody through your own personal network over. So that's
definitely. But it also comes from the quality of the students, and so the shares abroad wouldn't do that if the quality of students wouldn't be good. So yeah, it's both the students, but also the professors who are giving something in.
Awesome. So you said a little bit about quality. So what are kind of the different backgrounds, like who could apply? Are there different studies which are preferred, or what is kind of the background which normally people can apply with?
We are looking for different profiles. So if your academic background is in economics or mathematics or information systems or engineering, all of them are welcome at the FIM. So it's possible to study with different backgrounds. We also offer pre-courses. For example, if someone is just into economics and don't know how to do programming, for example, then students can learn it before the master starts, and then everyone will be well prepared for the first semester.
Terrific. So I feel like at the TUM, I think most people have heard of TUM BWL, or Technology Management in the English version. So it's a very, very popular program. So I feel like at the beginning it may seem a little bit interesting to see like what is the difference. I mean, so to somebody who may not be as well versed with the TUM, do you have any kind of pointers in terms of how these programs differ?
So the Master in Management and Technology is one of our biggest programs at the faculty, or at the school, how we call it now. And we have around 600 people starting every semester. They can choose one management specialization and one specialization in technology. And there you could also make financial management, and in addition, for example, computer science or whatever. So you also have this kind of combination of modules. But in FIM, you can also do, in addition, the quantitative part and also operations research. So this is something different, that the modules offered are a little bit broader. But I think the most important difference between those programs is the small class size. So management and technology is a big program. FIM is a really small program. Last winter semester, we had 31 students starting. The year before, only 21. So it's really, really small. And I think everyone who's interested in both of the programs should be aware that the FIM is a private program. People know each other, but you will be seen. So it could also be a disadvantage because of the small class size. And also we have a lot of FIM exclusive modules. And when one module is meant to be in the first semester, it will be only offered in the winter semester. So when it comes to planning the schedule, you are not that flexible, because you should do the study plan that we developed before. This is on the one hand really good, because students know what to do next and what modules will come in the future. But it is not something for everyone. So everyone should be aware of that and should think if this is something for her or him.
No, 100%. I like the fact that you say that it's a double-edged sword, kind of. I mean, I think if I really enjoy, I mean, I did the technology management in the bachelor as well, next to mathematics. So I liked that it was very flexible and you could do 20 things like next to the bachelor, kind of. But at the film, I really enjoyed that it was like so small that, I mean, people knew your name and they noticed if you weren't there. Like, as you said, it's bad if you don't want to be in class, then it's not not good. But if you are there and you really get to know people, then I feel like these discussions, you can't hide. Professors ask you something, but like in a good way, they engage in discussions. So yeah, but I really like that differentiation. Thanks so much. So something which also people might not know is that FIM also offers scholarships, which I feel like is quite unique for a study program. Both the one for special financial aid, which I think is 1,200, and there's other one which is around 500. So they're different models as well. So how did that come about, and what is kind of your motivation to providing these scholarships?
Yeah, so as I said before, we have a lot of corporate partners and they supporting the program, but also the students, and they are giving us the scholarships that we can conduct over the students. So the idea behind it is that the FIM is quite time consuming, and we know that students have to have money for living, and we would like to have our students really focusing on the studies and not worrying about money that much. So this is why we have the scholarship program. And we had last year 9 scholarships in total. So this is a lot compared to the class sizes.
100%. And also, I mean, there are no fees for anybody who might be wondering internationally. It's like there are fees. Awesome. So you talked a little bit about the class sizes and just kind of the alumni, and it's very lovely called FIMily, and there are several events and everything. So maybe can you tell us a little bit about how this alumni association is? How is the network like? Just a little bit of insights on what people can expect in terms of community.
Yeah. So all our students, or this is at least my experience, the students are really committed to the program. And this is why we have such a strong network of FIM alumni, and they are really engaged into the program, even though it is an association that is not directly connected to TUM, but we are working really closely with each other, and the students can of course go into the FIM Alumni Association right from the beginning of their studies, and get to know all the other fellow FIMily members, I would say. This is really unique because they're sharing a lot of experiences with the students, maybe can advise them in choosing modules or doing internships somewhere. And this, is also special that all of those FIM alumni are so committed to the program.
100%. I mean, and something I touched upon in the other video I did on the FIM was also the mentorship, that you can have both academic and professional mentors. And for me, at least, it was, I think it's always the case that it's somebody who studied film. And I think that's very interesting that they can give you some more insights. And as you said, like, how do you choose modules and just kind of, create that bond and really keep that intergenerational communication going.
Yeah.
So something you said, I mean, there are a lot of events, and you said corporate visits and soft skills. There's just so much going on, really. So maybe you can share just one highlight from last year or this year, which kind of to have an idea, like what could this look like, or does something come to mind to you?
So from my perspective, or my personal highlight, I think was last year the theme day. So we organized one day where all our corporate partners came together and discussed one topic. It was last year sustainability and ESG, and both FIM classes were there, and it was a really nice atmosphere because not only the corporate partners did a really good job, but also the students were really curious about the topics and how the corporate partners or the industry in general are dealing with the theme sustainability. So I would say this was one big highlight. Also, of course, the big FIM alumni event where all the FIM alumni came together, celebrating with each other. This was really nice. And of course, for me, it is always nice to welcome our new FIM class. So we had one new class last year in October, and it was really nice welcoming them. And of course, to see the older class or the class before them, to onboard them and to welcoming them in the FIM network.
Awesome. Thanks so much for providing so many insights on the whole richness of really what the study program is all about. So maybe as applications are nearing the application deadline, I will link everything on that in the video and in the post. But maybe do you have last 3 top tips for applications for somebody who might be interested to join?
Yeah. So my biggest recommendation would be to read all the information material we are providing on the website. There's one document, it's called How Does the Assessment Procedure Works? And this is really, really good for getting a lot of information about the application procedure. Because there you can also see the criteria that we are using to evaluate your essay and also evaluating the assessment interviews. And then you can see exactly what is important for us. So I think most of the applicants don't know it. So this is why I really would like to point out that this information is really, really good to have. And I think one other thing is just inform yourself about the program. I mean, if you're looking this video now, you are probably really well informed now. But in general, I would say it's really good to know what's coming up. When you're in the interview, it is always good to explain your motivation and why the program is the right fit for you. And you can only do it if you are really well informed, I would say. I think there are no other really recommendations I can do besides, or I can give you besides that. So yeah, take your time, do a good essay, take your time to prepare for the interviews, and then I think that would be it.
That's great. Good to go then. So thanks so much for providing all these insights, Charlotte. So anything else you might want to share with our audience? Other than that, I really appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, thank you. It was really nice that you invited me here. I think from the way I'm talking about the program, it is clear that I really like it, and I really think it is a really, really good opportunity for students to do. But yeah, my biggest recommendation is to really inform yourself about the program and get a feeling if this program is the really good fit for you. Because if it's not the really good fit for you, then you probably shouldn't do it. And if you're not sure, you can always come to my consultation hours, and then we can talk about it and maybe find a solution for you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Charlotte.